Welcome to my YouTube channel. Here, you'll learn English through stories that are simple, engaging, and full of life. Today, I'm sharing a very special story, my journey of moving to Canada and building a new life. As you listen, you'll hear real-life experiences, emotions, and conversations that will help you improve your English naturally. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy the story of my life in Canada. Let's begin. The beginning of a new journey. When I first stepped off the plane and into the crisp Canadian air, I had no idea how much my life was about to change. The airport buzzed with people from all walks of life, speaking different languages, rushing to their destinations. As I clutched my suitcase tightly, a mix of excitement and nervousness filled my heart. I had dreamed of this moment for so long, starting fresh in a new country, chasing opportunities, and building a better life. But dreams and reality can be very different. I still remember my first glimpse of the city, the tall buildings, the wide streets, the endless sky. It all felt like a scene from a movie. Back home, I had read so much about Canada, but being here was something else. The air felt fresher, the sky seemed bluer, and the people, well, that was a journey I was about to discover. My first winter in Canada was unforgettable. Coming from a much warmer place, I wasn't prepared for the biting cold that crept into my bones. I remember watching snowflakes fall for the first time, feeling them melt on my fingertips. It was magical until I slipped on an icy sidewalk. That was my introduction to Canadian winters, and it taught me a valuable lesson. Always watch your step. Finding a job wasn't easy at first. I sent out dozens of applications and attended interviews, each one teaching me something new. Eventually, I landed my first job at a local cafe. The people there were kind, but I often struggled to understand their fast-paced conversations. Every day was a lesson, not just in work, but in language, culture, and connection. The hardest part was the loneliness. Back home, my family was my world. Here, I had to rebuild that sense of belonging. Slowly, things began to change. I met people from different backgrounds, some who had been in Canada their whole lives and others who, like me, had come seeking a new beginning. We bonded over shared stories of home and hopes for the future. One moment that truly touched my heart was when a neighbor invited me to their Thanksgiving dinner. I had never experienced anything like it before. The warmth, the laughter, the food. It was the first time I felt like I belonged. Canada was no longer just a place I lived in. It was becoming home. As days turned into months, I started to feel more settled in Canada. The unfamiliar streets became familiar, and the once strange faces became friendly smiles. But the journey of truly finding my place was far from over. Work was still challenging, but I was determined to improve. I practiced English every day, listening closely to conversations and repeating phrases in my head. At the cafe, customers became my teachers. I'd ask questions, and they'd patiently explain, sometimes even correcting me with a kind smile. Slowly, my confidence grew. One day, a regular customer named Sarah noticed my struggle and offered to help. She invited me to a local community center, where newcomers practiced English together. I was nervous at first, but that place became my sanctuary. We shared stories, laughed over our language mistakes, and supported each other. As time passed, I embraced Canadian traditions. I learned to skate, though my first attempts were more about falling than gliding. I experienced my first Canada Day, watching the sky light up with colorful fireworks. I even tried poutine, which quickly became my comfort food. But it wasn't just about adapting to Canada. It was about blending my old life with my new one. I cooked dishes from my homeland and shared them with my Canadian friends. They loved the flavors, and I loved the connection we built over food. The biggest turning point came when I moved into my own apartment. It was small, but it was mine. I decorated it with memories from home photos, little trinkets, and slowly, it felt warm and familiar. I remember sitting on my couch one evening, sipping tea, and realizing something incredible. I wasn't just surviving anymore, I was living. I found a job I loved, working with people who valued me for who I was. My English improved, and so did my confidence. The city that once felt so foreign had become my home. Looking back, my journey wasn't easy. There were days when I missed home so much that it hurt. But Canada taught me something precious, that home isn't just a place. It's the people you meet, the memories you create, and the life you build. Today, when I walk down those familiar streets, I no longer feel like a stranger. I am a part of this beautiful, diverse land. Canada didn't just give me a new life, it gave me a new home.